Hey guys, how are we doing? Today I would like to take a look at one of the most fundamental movements and skilled movements within CrossFit, which is the double under. So, the double under, for anyone that knows what this movement is where you pass the rope twice per jump. So for example, a double under is this. For each jump, the rope will pass twice underneath. Today I would like to take a look at some of the common faults and some fixes that we can do to be able to really drive in that skilled movement and that technique behind the double under. So first of all, proper rope length is key. So we want to make sure the rope is at the correct length. Now, this is going to vary for different people depending on your height. But the best way to do this is we're going to take the rope, we're going to allow it to hang. We're going to pop our foot in the middle of the rope and we want to bring the handles up so that each side of the handle is in line with the nipple, okay? So once we've got that, that is your length. On a rope, like especially a speed rope, you'll have certain adjustments, so you can gradually adjust this over time until you find that comfortable length. Now what I would suggest if you're new to the double under is to maybe have your rope a hair too long to the nipple, okay? So you want to have it a little bit longer to allow for any mistakes and faults to happen so that we can pass it. But before we get into that, one of the key things you want to learn before you do the double under is actually single unders. So being able to skip continuously, unbroken for around about 200 passes before you have to stop. Now once we've got that, we can start to begin to go into the double under. One of the first common mistakes that we're going to address is too much arm. So what you'll tend to find is with people is as they're skipping, and especially as they get tired and the shoulders and fatigue sets in, our arms will come out, okay? And then what we do is we move a lot more from the forearm as opposed to the wrist. What this will look like is this, okay? So you have someone get tired, they'll start to bring the arms out, and in doing so, what's happening is the rope is actually becoming shorter, okay? So you're more likely to catch it against the feet, or trust me, if you hit one of these in the back of your head, you will know about it. The way to do this, or a quick trick, what you can do is you can either have a band and wrap that band around your arm and physically force it in. Or you can just be a little bit conscious of what you're doing. So as we go through the skip, really keep them elbows tucked into the side, like so, and really utilise the movement within the wrists and not the forearms. And then you should be able to keep that continuous pace without them arms flaring out. One of the next faults we're going to look at is piking or even donkey kicks. So for example, a pike, as we come up in the double under, we kick the feet forward. Now this is a natural thing we try to do to allow us to be able to get that height, to get the rope under, when in actual fact it just uses too much energy. Similar thing with the kicking at the back, we try to jump too high, we kick the legs up. Now a great way to start to drill this movement without having to worry about the rope itself is practice jumping. So what you want to do, have the feet glued together, hands to the side, and we're going to practice that vertical jump without any rope. And what you'll find is instantly you go into that sort of like pencil shape, going straight up, and you're not kicking back through fear of actually hitting the rope. And what this is going to do is going to allow you to build up that technique and that height that you need and is required in the initial stages for the jump. Now, as you get better at a double under, you're not going to want to go as high because you're not going to work as fast and efficient. But in the initial stage of trying to develop that movement, you're going to want to try and get a little bit more height just to allow that room for error. The next stage would be timing, okay? So with this, we want to try and get that timing. Exactly the same thing without the use of the rope. We're going to want to just literally jump. We're going to have the hands to the side and we're going to work on something called a penguin tap, okay? So we're going to put our feet together, stand up nice and tall, shoulders down the back away from the ears. We're going to jump up, like so. And after each jump, I want you to tap twice, okay? It's that old thing like rub your head, tap your belly, or pat your belly, rub your head, however you want to look at it. It's developing that timing. We're doing 2 different timings in one movement. And sometimes that's the trick. What happens is people get a little bit confused with the timings, and then that's when the donkey kicks come in place, or you pike forward during the movement. A great way to start to initially get that timing behind the double under is to slow it down. Don't go too fast. So all we want to do, nice and high in the wrists, really slow that movement down. Once you see the actual rope itself come into eye line, so around about here, that's why it's great to have this sort of rope. It's very bright and you can physically see it, especially if you're in a room with black background, etc. It can be quite difficult to see the rope. As the rope comes into eye line, at this point is where you want to speed up, okay? So slowly, as soon as you see that in your eye line, that's the point we're going to speed up. Now the trick will be, is we get 1, as soon as you see it, go for that pass. Go for that pass. Go for that pass. Now, in order to start to string these together, we can do a single, 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 double, okay? Try to get the rhythm. So we're going to do a double, followed by a concession of single unders. And this will allow us to start to get comfortable in that upright pencil position while still maintaining that skipping pace. Once you start to get a good rhythm, then we can start to string the double unders together. Now, by no means necessary is this an easy movement to do. However, with practice and patience, you will get better. You just have to deal with, in the meantime, getting whipped a lot. So if anyone has been practicing the double unders and finding it a little bit tricky and a bit disheartening because you're whipping yourself, just practice. That's it, practice, 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 and I promise you, over time, you will get better. Now, one of the other fundamental things I would like to mention is getting a good rope as well. There's different types of ropes you can get. This one is Velites, so this is from Whip Fitness. It's very good and it's very smooth as well. So if I was to spin that, that could probably spin for about a minute. The top end could probably spin for about a minute without stopping. You can get budget ones, so this is around about £40. You can get some more budget ones for around about £3 to £5. They're okay, but definitely you'll notice a difference using a more quality rope, especially with a luminescent rope itself, for when you can see it and that timing. Guys, give it a practice, try out these things, try out them timings, and I promise you, within no time, your double under will get better. Peace out, guys.